Hello, my name is Tiffany. I am going to show you how to get registered in UCAN That is the online pre-licensing course for your life license. To start, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to take you to the website that we use. You will hear me refer to this as UCAN That is just the easiest way to identify it. You can see that here. The website is www.youcanpass.examfx.com. And that can be sent to you instead of just writing it down. So when you go to the website, this is the screen it's going to take you to. To get started to register for the very first time, you're going to click on New Users. You're going to fill in the information. Which state are you going to earn your license? I am in Florida, so I'll be using Florida. Where does your RVP live? If you are with the Ruckmans, you are in Florida. RVP's name. This does go in alphabetical order. If you just type in RU on your keyboard, it'll take you right to Ruckman. Randall Harlan is the one you want. And then it's asking, what is your RVP's rep ID? So this is what is Randy's rep ID. And his is UNLL9. We're going to hit continue. Now, each state is going to look a little bit differently. That's okay. It's all generally the same information, so your screen may have a little bit more information here. This is just saying this is the only course available, so we're going to select that one. And this is going to have information about your state-specific course. Each one, like I said, is a little bit different. You'll see a little bit of different information in here. You can hit continue. All right, so now it's bringing us to the ExamFX screen. We're going to click on Create an Account. We're going to put in our information. Now this, your first and last name must match your state ID, such as your driver's license. Everything that we're doing with your license, with your life license, must match your legal driver's license name. I am going to use Ruckman Staff, as we're not creating an actual email or an account right now. The email address that you use right here is going to be your login. So make sure that you have access to it. I don't recommend doing your Primerica email address. I'm only using it because my personal email address is already registered, but I would recommend doing your own personal email address so that way you have it easily available. You don't have to worry about remembering what it is. It's pretty easy that way. For the password, I do a generic password when I create users for everybody. That way, if you get stuck, I can log in and help you out, see if there's something that we're missing, see if there's anything that I can assist you with. The password I use is Primerica1 and then a $sign. And the P is capitalized. Now, let me put in their phone number real quick. Okay. And then you're going to fill out your address information. This is very important to make sure you have accurate to match your ID as well. If your ID does not match your current address, go ahead and put your current address in right here. And then you're going to scroll down and click register. You're going to accept the terms and conditions. And then I'll bring you back to this screen here. You're going to click on returning users. As you can see here, it says that the next step, you need to complete this immediately. You have to do this before your account will be completed. So you click on returning users, and then it should bring you to this screen here where it has your information that you previously typed in. You're going to include your rep ID number That could also be called your solution number. If you are unaware of that, of what it is, please do not continue. Please take a breath, go find out what it is, and come right back to the screen, because you have to have that in there in order for it to track your progress properly. The next thing is going to be, you're going to answer some security questions. If someone has created this account for you, they check with them to see what the security questions are. If I have done it for you, your security question answers are going to be Primerica, no matter what the question is. Next, you're going to put your social security number. Very important, you must include the dashes in between the numbers. All right, give me just a moment. I figured I would have this issue. I have to get a different rep ID number, so hold on just a sec. All right, we are going to resume. I was able to find a solution number. Okay, hopefully, and then hopefully using a fake social is okay. All right, we're good to go. Okay, so after you complete your registration process, it'll bring you to this screen. This is as if you have already logged in. So if you have already created the account, or if someone else has already created the account for you and you log in, you want to start studying, you're going to log in with that email address and password that you created, and it's going to bring you to this screen. You're going to click on Launch Course, and then click here to launch your course. I apologize for the delay. My Wi-Fi likes to take its time. There we go. All right. These next 3 pages that display are going to display every time you log into the course. I'll review them with you now so you'll know what to expect when it comes to your turn. This one has a link here to the course requirements in detail. You are free to read that if you would like to. I am going to go over that with you in just a moment as well. This page will have any updates to the normal hours of operation for customer service for this website. And then this page is going to have your personal information, and it will also provide the customer service information. Next here, we have a message from Rolanda that is about how to navigate through the course. You can watch that video as well. I am going to review it with you if you would prefer that. This is just saying welcome to the course. You can hit next. These are the terms and conditions and the privacy policy. You'll agree to these and hit continue. All right, this is the main menu of the course. Like I said, every state is a little bit different, but it should generally look the same. You will see mine says Florida. If you're in a different state, yours will have a different state up there. When you're ready to start, you'll click on this section here that says Study by Topic. This is where all of your reading materials are. This here is about the course requirements. You must spend at least a total of 4 hours online studying. You can break that up however you want to. And there is a clock here that counts minute by minute for you, so you don't have to keep track yourself. Now, if you are in North Carolina, the state of North Carolina is different, and they do require 20 hours. The pop-up that just came up will still say 4 hours because that's a Primerica requirement, but the state of North Carolina requires 20 hours. It brings you to the introduction page here. and it gives you some information about the course. But what I find very helpful is the exam breakdown. When you're looking at this, make sure you're looking at the life exam, not the health and life. We're not doing health and life. So the life exam breakdown, this one is for Florida. So remember, each state is different. Florida has 6 chapters. Of the 6 chapters, chapter 5 makes up the largest percentage of the exam. So when you go to take the exam, the chapter 5 will have the most questions present on the exam. So that's the chapter that you're going to want to make sure that you're very confident in before you go take your exam. So we're going to start with the chapters. You go up here to select chapter. These are the chapters here. The red boxes mean you have not completed the chapters yet. Once you complete a chapter, the red box will turn to a green check mark, and then the next chapter will be available for you to access. I'm going to click on chapter 1 here and show you what this looks like. This is chapter 1. This is what the reading materials look like. Again, if you're in a different state, your chapter may look a little bit different. Overall, the content is pretty much the same. It might be displayed in a different order. And then the biggest differences are going to be when it comes to the state-specific laws and regulations, which are usually individual chapters themselves. I'm going to give you a recommendation for studying. This is based off of my own experience when I was studying for this license. When I read through chapter 1 for the first time, I took a bunch of notes. I took notes, it felt like for hours and hours. So when I got to the end of the chapter and I went to take the quiz to see how I was doing, the quiz button up here in the top right, I took the quiz and I realized some of the information in the chapter was pretty easy, or it came naturally to me, and I did not need to have taken notes on all of it. So I kind of wasted a lot of my time doing that. So what I did moving forward, starting in chapter 2, was I read through all the material one time. I came and took the quiz a couple of times so I could narrow down that easy stuff and, don't worry about that. And then figure out what subjects I actually needed to spend time studying, taking notes, and practicing. The quiz you can take as many times as you want to. You will need to get a 70% on it in order for it to open the next chapter. Also, at the end of each chapter, on the next page here, there are videos that you can watch. I am a visual learner, so these became my best friend when I was struggling. You can come in at the end of the chapter and see if there's a subject that you're still struggling with. See if there's a video that is associated with it, and watch the video and see if that helps with you with the subject that you're struggling in. Back on the main menu, there are also flashcards that you can use if you want to study with flashcards. State specific for this one is Florida. Florida requires these flashcards to be completed. No other state that I know of requires them to be completed. I personally did not like the style of these flashcards. So if you happen to be like me, I'm going to show you a way to get through them just to get it done and over with so you can study the way that works best for you. When you're in the flashcards, you do have to select the chapter that you're working with. And then it's going to say, start the flashcards. It's going to ask you a question. At this time is when, if you're using the flashcards, you're going to go ahead and try and answer the question. And then you're going to hit show answer. It's going to provide the correct answer, and it's going to ask you, did you get the answer correctly? If you're actually using the flashcards, go ahead and answer, yes or no if you got it correct or not. If you are just getting through the flashcards, always answer yes and move on to the next. Show the answer, yes, move on to the next. That's what I did because I did not like these flashcards. Back on the main menu here, I'm going to go over the next step. After you get through all of your chapters and all of your quizzes, the next step will be to do the Learn As You Go practice test. It's just a 25-question test that covers all the chapters together, and it's not very, I don't think it's very important. However, you must complete it to move on to the next step. This is an area I have seen people get stuck at. They're trying to move forward and they don't know why they can't. It's because they missed this part. Once you take that and pass that, you're going to move on to the simulate your exam. This one is very, very important. You must pass this one in order to complete the entire course. And that is what will provide us the certificate of completion, which state specific for this one, Tennessee requires that the certificate of completion be printed and brought into the test facility with you in order to take the exam. If you do not have the certificate with you, you will not be taking the exam. So far, that's the only state that I know that requires a printed certificate with you. A little bit more information about this one, the Simulate Your Exam. You can take it as many times as you want to. Even once you pass it and complete the course, you can always return to it if you want to. After you complete it though, what I recommend is to work on what's called the guarantee exam. You don't see it here on my screen yet because it's not available. It's not available until you pass the Simulate Your Exam. I apologize. As most of you know, life happens. Back to what we were doing. All right, the guarantee exam. So after you pass the Simulate Your Exam, the guarantee exam will display on the screen between these two sections right here. The guarantee exam is where you're going to want to spend all of your extra time. Once you get the required chapters, quizzes, and stuff done, the guarantee exam is where you're going to want to put all your other time. So it's called the guarantee exam because you have to pass to pass, you have to get an 80%. And when you do that, it's kind of guaranteeing that you're going to pass the state exam as well. If you can pass the guarantee exam and here, you're gonna pass the state exam. So that is just a confidence booster and it will make sure that you know the stuff that you need to know. All right, that is everything about the course. I take that back. In the only state I can think of right now is Minnesota. There is, and Mississippi. There is what's called, hold on a second, let me look. I was able to find it. Oh no, did I close it? Hold on, getting my stuff back together here. Here we go. Okay, Mississippi and Minnesota, they have another section here in addition to the guarantee exam called the certificate exam. Now in these two particular states, you have to pass this one to get the certificate of completion, not the Simulate Your Exam. The certificate exam also must be proctored, meaning someone must watch you take this exam. It has to be, they word it as an uninterested third party. Cannot be a family member. It cannot be your upline. It cannot be someone that has an interest in you passing this exam. If you are struggling to find someone that can proctor the exam for you, please get with your upline. Please get with your RVP. There are many people in our team and our network that we can find that are not that are an uninterested third party that can proctor this exam for you. They do not have to be physically present. You can do it on Zoom. They just have to sign a form attesting that they witnessed you taking the exam. All right, so that is everything for You Can Pass. We'll be moving on to the next.